Think about it for a second. You wake up early, fight traffic, give 8, 10, sometimes 12 hours of your day to a job, and when the paycheck finally lands, it already feels gone. Rent takes a slice, groceries swallow another, gas, utilities, maybe a doctor's bill, and suddenly, you're left staring at numbers in your bank app wondering, how do people ever get ahead in this country? And here's the part that really stings. No matter how many extra hours you put in, no matter how hard you hustle, it feels like the finish line keeps moving. The cost of everything rises, but your dollar buys less. You work harder, but you're not moving forward. Meanwhile, you scroll online and see people who don't look any smarter than you, not working any harder than you, somehow living with freedom. Vacations, nice homes, money that seems to multiply. And you can't help but ask yourself, what do they know that I don't? Here's the answer. They understand the game. Because in America, money is a game. And if you don't know the rules, you lose, plain and simple. Most people spend their entire lives trading time for money, while the few who figure it out flip the system. They make their money work while they sleep. But here's the good news. You don't need to be born into wealth to play that game. You don't need a Wall Street job or $1 million salary. What you need is a strategy that's built for today's reality. A way to protect what you earn, grow it step by step, and finally start building a future where you're not just surviving, but free. And that's exactly what this video is about. If you've ever felt stuck, tired of running in circles, tired of being crushed under rising prices while others move ahead, stay with me. Because what I'm about to share could change the way you think about money forever. The trap most Americans are stuck in. Let's be real. If you're like most people in America right now, you feel like you're running on a treadmill, working harder every year, but somehow staying in the exact same spot. Your paycheck comes in. It looks decent on paper. But then, reality hits. Rent or mortgage takes a huge bite. Groceries that used to cost $200 now cost $300. Gas prices swing like a roller coaster. A trip to the doctor or an unexpected bill. Boom. Savings gone. And here's the thing nobody talks about enough. Your money is quietly losing value every single day. What your parents could buy with $100, today, you'd need almost double. That's not just inflation. That's the system at work. And if you're only stashing your money in a bank account, you're falling behind without even realizing it. That's why so many Americans are stressed. Not because they're lazy, not because they don't want to work, but because the rules of the game have changed. The old advice, just save money, go to work, retire comfortably, doesn't work anymore. You can do everything right and still end up broke, still end up living paycheck to paycheck. And that's the painful truth. The middle class is shrinking. Prices rise, wages lag, and ordinary families are left carrying the weight. You work, you grind, but the system is designed to keep you busy, not free. But here's where it gets interesting. While most people are stuck in this cycle, there's a small group of people who are playing the same game, but winning. They're not working more hours. They're not necessarily smarter. They just learned the rules that nobody ever teaches us in school. And once you see those rules clearly, once you understand how money actually works in this country, you realize you don't have to be trapped anymore. Here's the hard truth. Most Americans are stuck in survival mode while a small group lives by a completely different set of rules. Think about it. The average person trades time for money. You work 40, 50, sometimes 60 hours a week. Your paycheck grows a little, maybe you pick up overtime, maybe you chase a promotion. But at the end of the day, your income is tied to how many hours you can put in. And let's be honest, there are only so many hours in a day, only so much energy in your body. Now compare that to the wealthy. They don't just work for money, they make money work for them. While most people are grinding for a paycheck, they're building streams of income that keep flowing even when they're not working. It's not luck, it's not magic, it's mindset. They see money differently. While most families hold on tight to their cash, afraid to lose a dollar, the wealthy ask, how can this dollar grow into 10? They don't see money as something to spend or stash away. They see it as a tool, a worker, something that can multiply. And here's what's wild. Nobody teaches us this in school. We spend 12 years learning how to follow rules, how to be good employees, how to fit into the system. But we never get taught how the system actually works. We never learn the real rules of wealth. The result? Millions of hardworking Americans, honest people, doing everything right, still feel broke. Meanwhile, a small percentage quietly builds wealth, generation after generation, because they were taught to think differently. And this is the shift we have to talk about today. Because the moment you realize money is not just for spending, not just for saving, but for building, that's the moment your life changes. Look at it this way. Most people say, "I can't afford that." The wealthy ask, "How can I afford that?" Most people fear risk. The wealthy fear standing still. Most people hope to retire someday. The wealthy build freedom so they don't have to wait. This shift isn't about greed. It's about choice. It's about freedom. It's about being able to send your kids to college without drowning in loans. It's about retiring without fear of running out of money. It's about having the breathing room to live life on your terms, instead of always answering to bills and debt collectors. And here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. If you keep playing the game the old way, just working, just saving, just hoping, nothing changes. But if you're willing to shift your perspective, if you're ready to learn how money actually works in America, you can step into the same arena where the wealthy play. And once you take that step, once you start seeing through their lens, the opportunities that felt invisible suddenly become clear. Now let me tell you this. You don't have to keep living paycheck to paycheck. You don't have to keep stressing every time gas prices jump or groceries eat half your wallet. There is another way forward. And no, this isn't about getting rich quick. This is about getting smart, about building freedom, one decision at a time. Every dollar in your pocket. It's not just paper, it's power, it's a worker. You can either let it slip away on autopilot or you can put it to work, building something bigger for your future. Think about it. While most people spend their whole life asking, "How do I make ends meet?" the wealthy ask, "How do I make this dollar grow?" And that one question, that one mindset, changes everything. The path starts simple. You don't need $1 million to begin. You don't need Wall Street connections. What you need is a plan, a clear system that protects your money, grows your money, and gives you the power to finally breathe. Instead of stressing when bills pile up, you've got a cushion. Instead of hoping Social Security will be enough, you've got income streams building in the background. Instead of working until your body gives out, you've got choices. That's what this is really about. Choices. The choice to spend more time with your kids. The choice to take a vacation without guilt. The choice to retire with dignity instead of fear. And listen closely, because here's the most important part. This path is not reserved for the lucky few. It's not just for the rich. It's for anyone who's ready to stop surviving and start building. The only question is, are you ready to take that step? Because the second you do, you stop playing the old game, and you start building a future that's finally yours. So here's the truth. You don't have to settle for a life of stress, debt, and endless bills. You don't have to keep running in circles. The power to change your future, it's in your hands right now. Because freedom isn't some far-off dream. It starts the moment you decide to take control. And if you're ready, if you're serious about building a life where your money works for you, not against you, then this is your time. Don't wait for the right moment. The right moment is right now. Hit that subscribe button, stay tuned, and let's walk this path together. Because the future you've been hoping for, it's closer than you think.